Today, as part of our Business Spotlight program, I'm with Darren Forde. He's the CEO and founder of Eco-Powered Cabinets. They're based in Claremorris in County Mayo. So over to you, Darren. What is it you do and for how long have you been doing it?
Thank you, Kevin. I am CEO, as you said, of EcoPower Cabinets. It's a world first invention and device. Um, it's actually a solar emergency EcoPower cabinet that can store any medication or any medical devices in any rural location without needing a power supply.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm at that since climbing Croagh Patrick with my family back in late 2022.
Okay.
Um, my background first is civil engineering, and my passion is first aid as an EMT. So while climbing Croagh Patrick, I noticed there was no defibrillators on Croagh Patrick or no medication. So I came up
Right.
with the idea to design and patent a device that will hold these units in rural isolated locations.
hmm Very good. Okay. And so when you say it's a world first, because I notice you've got patents pending both in Ireland, Europe, and worldwide. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct, yes. We have it in Ireland and we have it in Australia. And as we go to each country, then we'll expand and do the patent for that.
All right. Okay. Okay. Very good. And so, and you've been growing obviously from a standing start, I think, in 2022. How has growth been going, and what do you attribute it to?
But it's going brilliant. I say the main thing, Kevin, there's actually nothing like this at the moment that can hold these devices. And by pure luck or goodwill, um, several people asked me this question: why is there nothing like that out there? And basically, because my background is engineering and medical EMT, so I brought the two together to patent and design this product. And it can hold, just say, for example, now if you're on a greenway or if you're on a waterway or beside the beach or the sea, for the water sections, the three specific units, they're identical, but the internals are different.
Okay.
So if you're beside a river, waterways, we can store life jackets, we can store flares, emergency throw bags, and hypothermic kits, allowing instant access 24/7, 365. Just a small fact on that: 330,000 people died globally last year in water. 118 died in Ireland last year in water. 77% of them were male, and a high proportion of that 77% were actually men that hopped in to save someone and didn't come out themselves.
Oh,
So by having a life jacket in the cabinet beside the water, if you put that on, it can guarantee that yourself won't drown, and there's a good chance you'll pull the other person out as well, because it can hold up to 120 kgs.
oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's vital stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And how do you see the growth going forward from now? Do you think,
Yeah, it's going brilliant because there's people from Germany have contacted us. Greg in the USA, he's interested in the USA and Canada, the UK the same way. But what people have to remember is basically this started off a small sketch a little over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And to get us to this stage is, I think it could be quicker, but that's the way I think. But it could have taken 10, 15 years to get to this stage. But the growth is out there. At the moment, we're making everything here in Mayo and we're
Mm.
shipping to Australia.
Right.
And we're hoping to keep that in Ireland as long as we can. But if we can't keep up with the demand, we will go to other areas as well.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And it's maybe a little bit premature, but if you had to start from square one in business, what would you do differently?
Um, but totally honest, Kevin, I'm very happy with the way things are going between my personal life and the work and the kids and everything. What would I do different? Um, I don't. I think it's going at this moment in time. It's going exactly as planned. But if you ask me this question in a year's time, in 2 years' time, I could have a different answer for you.
Yeah, this is it. I think the question is maybe slightly premature. Do we need to get
Yes, yes,
a few years under the belt? Okay.
yes, yes.
And are you employing people,
Yeah,
Darren?
the way we have it done. Well, I'm lucky enough to be working with the county council for the last 28 years as a road design engineer.
All
So
right.
I said at my age now of 48, I said I didn't want headaches of wages, of salaries, of remote working, all the stuff that goes on, insurance, PRSI. So I spoke to my business partner, Tom,
Hmm.
and we decided to keep everything as local as we can, and this is the key for us, to employ existing businesses to make our do our manufacturing. So we pay them for their specific part of the box of the cabinet, and
Okay.
they look after all the wages. So we've absolutely no headaches with the employment side of stuff. If I was younger and starting off younger, I probably would have them headaches, but at this stage we don't. So
All right. Okay. We're
yeah.
avoiding headaches. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um, well, one I think you kind of covered there, but how do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
Yeah, it's probably back to that kind of an answer there. We have 11 different companies making our cabinets. So my role at this stage, initially I was looking after absolutely everything for about 3, 4 months. It was 24/7
Mhm.
busy. But now I'm at the stage I can take, say, a Zoom call from yourself or a Teams meeting or a bit of social media, stuff like that. And as the orders comes in, we give them to the Orlandi Steel. They do the boxes, the solars, it all comes in. So I have a fair bit of time to spend with my family and my 2 kids. So the weekends are free. After 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm free. So it's quite good. I have a good balanced life at this stage. And the reason I kept it that way is also, just another bit to my background, is I'm a community first responder in this area. So we go to all the cardiac calls, all the series calls. So we see what happens out there in other houses in our local areas with different aspects of the community and first aid and the serious things that happened. So what I'm trying to say is life is too short not to have time for the family and the things you like. So that's where I am with that too, Kevin.
Fantastic. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember just seeing something there recently on the Roman sundials back. They used to engrave them. And one of the things they had on it was, to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that is for sure. And nowadays, the way Kevin with cardiac events and stuff like that, it's not old people anymore. It's people younger than me that happens to. So we have
Yeah,
to enjoy every day and make the best of it.
it's one of my core values. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally the same as that. Yes.
Okay, and maybe just to round off, Darren, you know, what are some of the common misconceptions about running a business or starting up a business, and how do you address them?
The things I found probably most difficult would be the shipping. I just thought we shipped one unit initially to Australia. That was very handy.
Hmm.
But the second one, we sent 8. And they went to Dublin. They came back because there weren't easy access for the customs to have a look at. So that came back to us. I found that difficult with the paperwork. And once they saw the word medical, that opened another can of worms. So that took a lot of time. So one of the misconceptions is when you're starting off your own business, it's not 9 to 5. It's not Monday to Friday. It's initially it's 24/7 for a while. And even this morning, now I do a lot of my work early in the morning, from maybe 5:30 to 7:30. I do emails, stuff like that. It goes out pretty quick, and it frees up the day. So it's not just 9 to 5, but then I finish early in the evenings too.
Fantastic, fantastic. Listen, if there's some great stuff in there for our viewers, really delighted you could take the time in your schedule to chat with us today. So thanks again,
Yeah.
Darren.
Could I just say one other thing about that? I'm sure your fellows can edit it if they want.
You may.
The 3 specific units, and the one I mentioned there for waterways, stuff like that. The other one then is for the type of summits, mountains. So you have a defibrillator in that. No need for life jackets, no need for that. But you have a trauma kit with a hemostatic bandage in it to
Okay.
stop arterial bleeding on top of mountains. The other thing then is we'd have is the ones for roadways and stuff like that. So along roadways, we have a fire extinguisher. We've one gone up. Went up there last week on the infield Apple Green motorway, and that's totally different to the other two. The units are identical, Kevin, but what we have in that is a fire extinguisher and a fireball, and also a small little device for breaking windscreens on cars to get
Oh,
people out, especially with electric fires and stuff like that. So again, we've instant access to all that for fire extinguisher along a motorway, for trauma kits, and for little devices to get people out of cars. So there are three specific units, and it's just hard to believe that they're nowhere else and that they're all coming from Mayo in Ireland at the moment.
Well,
So
fantastic.
sorry for taking up that. So thanks very much for your
No,
time.
no, no, that's fantastic. That's brilliant. Making those points, we'd want to be clear on it. And it's again, well done on the whole putting the two, I suppose, levels of expertise, civil engineering and EMT, put it together to come up with a product like this, which is brilliant.
That's the only reason I think that it got this fair and so quick, because a lot of the engineers I know, they have absolutely no interest in having a life jacket on the side of a waterway. The doctors I know love it, but they wouldn't have the experience to do the painting. So I saved about 70,000 on painting myself that I could do it. And on the engineering side and the controlled temperatures and stuff like that. One other point I'm going to mention, Kevin, and you're going to hang up after this, I think, but it's
You're fine. Keep going.
it's the medication side of things. So
Okay.
we have a small refrigerated unit in the bottom right.
Mm.
So if someone wants to take out a life jacket or emergency device, you go up to the cabinet, it's either locked or the code is on it. You take out the cabinet. But if someone gets a chest pain or an allergic reaction, if you ring 999 or 112, they'll give you the small code for the internal box, which has the aspirin in it, and hopefully shortly will have the EpiPens. So it's the same aspirin and the same EpiPen that's used to treat cardiac chest pain or allergic reaction to peanuts, to bees, to mushrooms, for every single patient in the whole world. So them two specific medications can be in it. And the HSE said to me at the time, who's going to authorise this? I said, you are. Because if you ring 999, they're going to say, just say, for example, for the aspirin, they'll say, are you over 16? Yes. Bleeding disorder? No. Chest pain? Yes. So the next question they normally say is go and get a Disprin. But on Christmas Day at 2 o'clock in the day, if you're on top of a mountain, where would you get a Disprin? So now they can say to you, go to the cabinet. It's done with GPS, coordinates, locate, all these coordinates. You can get this cabinet and they'll give you the code to type in, and you have your aspirin or your EpiPens there 365 days a year.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. No, really great advance. No, fantastic. Listen, it's been great chatting to you, Darren. Thanks again
You,
for taking the time.
you too, Kevin. Nice talking to you. Thank you.